by, say, the British. So you'll find that if you go in the global market, there is English tea, there is English coffee, there is cappuccino. What you find here is that sometimes the reason why we're exporting the raw material as tea is that there is no way you can sit in Kenya and make tea for Spain and make tea for Portugal, because the taste that is there is different. So sometimes you have to appreciate that some of these, if you look at the culture that is around coffee, it was never really our crop. It was a crop that was introduced here for the sake of those that had good use of that raw material. But so if you use coffee and you use tea, then what you realize is that this is a crop that was introduced by somebody else for his own use, and he had many thousands of years of making coffee. If you're making cappuccino, that's not our brand. So sometimes part of the challenge that we have is how do you adapt so that you can make globally acceptable coffee? How do you make globally accepted tea brands within Kenya and sell to Portugal? For example, I will give you an example. We were in Japan and we found it very interesting. The Japanese were saying, we love Kenyan tea, the Kenyan tea, but the Kenyan tea that comes into our market is labeled in English. So for them, they did not have any issue with the test. But the issue is that, and we have now been working with Kepropa, the branding agency in Kenya, to say, why should you sell Kenyan tea in Saudi Arabia that is not written in Arabic? Why should you want to sell coffee in Portugal in English? So sometimes the issue is not even the test. The issue is how adaptable are we, our manufacturing, our manufacturers? So the question now that we have called to them to do is, please make sure that when you are producing for an external market, you cater for the test. If you're producing for the Portuguese market, you cater for that test, but also label your tea in Portuguese. If you're selling to Spain, then you label it in Spanish. If you're selling it to Japan, please make it in Japanese. Because what we have realized is that the Japanese want to take your tea, they look at the tea, and sometimes they find that they can't read what you have written. And that's all that is standing between us and that global market. So those are the issues that we are really working with our manufacturers to make sure that they adopt, that they make use of, so that we can make progress.